She didn't just build a beauty business, she created a space for women to heal. Welcome back to a Glow and Grow series. In this episode, I sit with Josie, the founder of Beyond Wellness and Beauty, as I do her makeup and she shares her journey from Lebanon to becoming the confident entrepreneur she is today. Her story is one of resilience, healing, and growth, a reminder to us all that true transformation starts from within. Let's listen to her story.
Hi, I'm Josie Fares. I'm the owner of Beyond Wellness and Beauty. I'm an integrative skin specialist and quantum healing practitioner. I help people heal from the inside out, blending science, skincare, wellness, and soul work.
I grew up in Lebanon, and during my early teenage years, I struggled with really severe cystic acne. And it was literally all over my face. Every inch of my face had a pimple. It really affected my self-confidence and self-esteem. I read this herbal remedies book and I learned how to heal the skin with just natural remedies, and I would just steam some chamomile or boil some chamomile and put my face with a towel on top to have natural steam, and then do extractions, and then use ice to cleanse, and then smash some avocados and bananas and use as a mask. And so it was coming to me naturally.
Very holistic.
So I would use the foods and herbal remedies to heal my skin. It's crazy because later on I happened to get my first job in Lebanon, in Beirut, at a famous place where he did makeup and skincare, and I guess he saw my talent and he sent me to esthetician school, and which was really amazing. It was all falling into place. When in my early 20s, my skin had improved, but this is when I got married and I struggled with infertility and multiple miscarriages. Try not to cry because we're doing makeup here. But that made me realize that, okay, there's something deeper going on. So I happened to be working at the skincare and wellness spa here in Lebanon, and I did my first health program, which was a candida program, and it helped me cleanse my body, and I had to eliminate lots of unhealthy foods, fried foods, dairy, and red meat, and use these supplements. And I got pregnant right within a month or two, which was miraculous and beautiful. And I ended up having 3 healthy, beautiful children. But that journey taught me that it's not just about skincare, and it's not only about how pretty you look and what you put on your skin, but there's so much more to that. It's what you eat. And also I realized that everything that I've been through with, inflammation of the skin and breakouts and even fertility issues, it started from back when I was a child. And it's because there was a lot of trauma there. Growing up in Lebanon, I grew up in war, and so a couple of years of my life when I was anywhere from between 2 and 6, I spent a lot of time in bomb shelters, and it was really scary and terrifying. So I'm sure that caused a lot of bottled up emotions. And then later my parents divorced, and then we moved to the US. So moving here wasn't easy at all. It was also very difficult because I had left my best friends, my family, and I had to start over. But that's what led me later on to pursue nutrition. I went and studied integrative nutrition and health coaching. And then years after that, I had a lot of bottled up emotions come to the surface again. And I realized, it's not only about skin and wellness, but it's also about soul healing. So that just motivated me, inspired me actually to become a QHHT practitioner, an Akashic records reader, and start doing the deep soul work, because I just feel like I have this really big passion to just help others heal just like how I heal. Because there was a time where I felt like it's impossible. Like, how can I even go on with everything I've been through? I mean, with, growing up in Lebanon, and I had a beautiful childhood before my parents divorced. And my country is so beautiful. But it just makes me sad. It just makes me sad because like the war, it never ends, But it's just so sad how people can hurt each other. Yeah.
It is hard, and it probably hits you even harder because you lived in that in the past.
I am so grateful to be here. I truly am. I mean, we came to the land of opportunity and good future. That's what all of us that leave Lebanon want. And I feel really blessed to be here. But I do miss my country, and I truly feel like I left a piece of my heart there. Well, hopefully there will be peace again. And yeah, so this is why I do what I do, because I really thought I could never heal. I hit really deep depression, and there was a time where I think I truly disconnected from my body. I felt like I was just living like a robot, just doing what I need to do, doing, my obligations and all of that, but my heart was just broken from all the trauma that I've been through. Not that I don't have, like, I'm very grateful for my life. I have a great husband. I have beautiful, amazing 3 children that I adore. But you have to really take care of yourself and work on whatever is bottled up. You might not even be aware of feelings that you have. And
a lot of people, right?
You need to work on healing that whichever way that you can, in order for you to remember who you actually are. Because I think many women could say this. I know personally for me, I reached a time where, like 7 years ago, is when I felt like I started my awakening, I want to say. And I felt like a lot of bottled up emotions started coming to the surface, and I wondered, like, why am I so depressed? But I think it was because I just kept telling myself all my life, I'm fine. And then, I am happily married, and I had a beautiful wedding, and I had my kids, and I'm a good wife, and I love my husband, and I'm a great mom, and I love my kids. But then, who am I? I think a lot of us moms, we lose our identity in a way. So I think that is what really inspired me to look deeper within. And this is how, I want to say, Dolores Cannon found me, and I ended up becoming a QHHT practitioner, which if you would have told me years ago that I'm going to be, an Akashic records reader or a QHHT practitioner, I would have been like, what? Like, what are you talking about? But I know it really helped me so much, and it's been helping me so much. And I need people just to connect to self again.
So for people that don't know what that is, what is it exactly that?
QHHT stands for Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. It's a healing modality where I help you connect to your higher self. You come in and we spend some time together chit-chatting, and you
Just share your story, and then when you're ready, you lay down and relax, and I guide you into a deep trance, and I just guide you to connect to your higher self and connect to your subconscious in order to get the healing needed for yourself and get some answers to some questions you may have. In addition to QHHT and Akashic reading, I also do frequency scans. Ever since I got into frequency, which was before QHHT, I've gotten a lot of people that would tell me I'm playing God or I'm doing something satanic, which is ridiculous because all I want to do is help heal people, because we know the world could use so much healing. So it sounded really ridiculous at the time, and I remember that first time I did a frequency scan on someone, then she told a friend, and the friend said, oh my gosh, be careful, she's playing God. And don't give her your voice, because giving your voice to somebody, they're going to be doing something satanic. And I was just shocked, because I don't know, there might be people like that, but I'm not aware of something like that. I'm not saying there isn't any evil in the world. I just know I have no part in it. And I'm all about positivity and wellness. That really intimidated me and scared me at first. And what I did was I kind of suppressed my myself from talking about it for a little bit. And then I had to force myself to actually start showing up again, because it was doing so much healing on me, like the frequency scans and using that particular modality too. It was just so effective and worked so well for me and my family. So I forced myself to I told myself, just let go of the fear. And so that's what I would want to tell people. I know it's scary sometimes when you want to start following your passion, or because sometimes, like you said, we don't choose what we want. It chooses us. I was clearly chosen for the frequency, for the QHHT. So why hide that gift from the world? I think what scares people the most is when they don't understand something. I try to do my best to just explain things, and I put myself out there, and whoever can understand is welcome, and whoever doesn't, and if it doesn't resonate with the person, then they don't have to, come in and see me or have the same belief system that I do. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Coming from religious background, I totally understand, because I was always looking for something and looking for answers, right? And I always wanted to belong. I felt like I couldn't belong anywhere. But now I find myself that I'm closer to God than ever, thanks to the experience that I've had. So I think some people are a little bit closed-minded, but I would just like to invite people to have an open mind and an open heart, to listen and kind of try to understand what other people are talking about or where they come from. Or just, at the end, even if they're not okay with it, just come to terms with the fact that it's okay not to be okay with it, and still respect the other person's belief system. The second time I moved to the US, because the first time I came to the US, I was a little girl. I was 7 years old, and we lived here for almost 3 years, then went back. And without my mom. That's when they divorced. So I grew up without my mom for 8 years, which is, hence why I was having emotional issues, right? But my dad did a great job at raising us and doing the best he can. So that second time we moved to the US, I'm sorry, no offense to anyone, because I do love it now, but I hated it. It was so hard for me to come from my country, and my little beautiful town, and leave my best friend and start over and go to high school. You know how terrifying that is? It's terrifying. And I'll never forget the feeling. Yeah. So then what I did was I ran away to Lebanon. I saved money. I got a little temporary job. I saved $600, got a one-way ticket to Lebanon. And I stayed in a girls' dorm, and I was looking for a job, and my friend told me that this famous makeup artist in Beirut is looking for somebody. And it turned out to be, you know, skincare, permanent makeup, and makeup. And he loved what I would, like how I would do like natural skincare remedies and things like that. And he felt like I had a talent. So he paid for my school to send me to school. So I studied that there. And I worked at his place, and I actually even did permanent makeup, electrolysis, which was so crazy, right? But that's how I started in Lebanon. And then I realized a few months later or a year later that I can't live without my mom and dad and my siblings. So I came back, and then later on, a few years down the road, I found my job at this skincare and wellness, where I was able to do a health program and heal myself and have healthy pregnancies and all of that. But I was getting paid by commission. So that was the first job here in the US. Oh, by the way, I have to say, I did get my license in aesthetics here, because you can't just work based on your license from another country. I went to school, and then I ended up working at the Eden Day Spa at the time. And then afterward, ended up staying home, taking a few years off to raise my babies. And when I went back, did that again, started with commission. And then I remember, you know, thinking after like almost a year, I'm like, you know, this is not enough money. Like, how am I gonna live and survive? Yes, I had a husband and he's great, but like I need more money and I want to grow more. And so some of my friends encouraged me to do facials from home. So I got like a few devices, and I got a steam machine or steamer. It's called a steamer. I got my bed and all of that. And I remember working from home for a little bit, for like a few months. But because my babies were, I want to say like 5 years old, it was a little bit challenging. And so that's when I got an opportunity. I got contacted by the owner of this beautiful salon here in Glendora to go work there and be rental, like just rent a room. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do that? I can't afford to pay rent. Like, you know, I'm still starting out. It's basically starting out from scratch because I was off for so long, right? I decided, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'll just start with one day. And I started with one day, then that one day led to a day and a half, then 2 days, then 3 days, then slowly I became full-time, and I was able to pay rent and so much more. I decided to trust myself that I'll be able to make it and get the clients, and I would just approach people and talk to people at the salon and people's clients, and that's how I grew, and I started working for myself pretty much. I want to say 8 years later, I ended up renting my own studio. That was a really eye-opening experience. It was a beautiful place and with very nice people. But the more soul work I did, the more I realized that I need to be on my own, because I didn't want any interruptions. So then that led me to start looking for my own place, and I found this spot right here. I put in a lot of hard work and blood and tears into building it, thanks to my husband. He was so sweet and helpful. He really helped me make my dream come true. My whole idea is just to provide a safe space for people to heal. I think it's really amazing that you're doing this, because you're holding space for me when, you know, most of the time I'm holding space for people. I feel like I'm always, right, like serving as a mom, as a wife, and in my business I'm always like, my whole purpose in life is serving and helping others heal. So for us to be doing this, I think it's just so beautiful, and I'm really honored to be here. All my life, I felt like I wasn't enough, I wasn't worthy, I wasn't lovable. I realized after doing so much healing work that it came from this childhood memory which I'm going to share. When that first time we came to America, I was 7, and my parents were together. This is when we had the war going on in Lebanon. So we wanted to get away, and we wanted somewhere safe to be and to have a future. And my grandparents were living here, my mom's side, and they told us, they encouraged us to come here. So we came here. A year later, well, my parents filed for divorce, and as you know, when there's divorce, there's a lot of animosity, unfortunately. Not always, but a lot of times. And so that was going on, especially being in a foreign country. I think I was about 8. Somehow I ended up in foster care with my siblings. And I remember looking up or looking around and thinking, oh my gosh, where are my parents? And what am I doing here? And my sister was a little over 2, and my brother was a little over 4, and we were scared and lonely. And I remember thinking, Josie, it's okay. Like, you got this. You are strong. You're gonna take care of your siblings. You're gonna protect them. Everything will be okay. But at the same time, and I did, I did take care of them. At the same time, I felt guilty. I felt that it's my fault we're there. I felt like if I was enough, or if I was lovable and my siblings were, we wouldn't be there. But I kept pushing through, even at the age of 8, going to a temporary home before a permanent adoptive family. I don't know how it goes, but this is what my child, like my little 8-year-old Josie, remembers. And we were told that we're going to be moving to a permanent family if we don't get picked up. And then my mom ended up coming and taking us back, and come to find out she didn't realize what was happening, and they didn't know where we were. In between their fights, my dad took us back and took us back to Lebanon without my mom. So we lived without her for 8 years. It was beautiful to be in Lebanon, but it was rough growing up without a mom. And I remember thinking, I can't wait to be a mom so I can be a better mom than her. Because I had a lot of resentment and hate, and hearing it from my dad's side, and just going through all these issues here and being abandoned. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with a lot of resentment, and I couldn't wait to be a mom. That's why becoming a mom was a really big dream for me. Mm-hmm. And that's why when I had my miscarriages, or infertility, it was really heartbreaking. Like, you can only imagine what that feels like. But now I remember when I went through all the self-confidence issues, or not, loving myself enough, or actually not loving myself at all, it all goes back to that moment that I felt abandoned. And I felt not enough, not worthy. And I couldn't heal that until now I'm 45. So I feel like my lesson was to love myself, because I felt like when I started loving myself, that's when the magic started happening. And not in a selfish way, because growing up, especially like in the Middle East, they tell you like a lot of things that you might do is selfish. So I grew up thinking like, oh, taking care of myself or loving myself is selfish, but it's not. If you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of you? You cannot give from an empty cup. So you always have to take care of yourself to be a better mom, a better wife, a better human being, a better healer, right? I can finally say I'm proud of myself for being here, and I'm not saying it in any conceited way, because see, I'm still working on some things, but I'm happy that I finally reached a point where I feel like we could always use healing, but I've healed enough to love myself and appreciate where I'm at and what I'm doing. Be the light worker that I've always wanted to be. You know, I just wanted to add that with my mom, as I mentioned, I grew up with a lot of resentment and heartbreak and went through a long period of time thinking she was dead, you know? So it was a lot of mixed emotions. I know I mentioned that I grew up with a lot of hate and resentment towards my mom just because of the abandonment issues and whatever we were being brainwashed with growing up. But there was just a lot of pain on my dad's side and his family and a lot of drama. But when I became a mom, I even understood more why what happened was hurtful. But the more I healed, the more I forgave her, because I realized she didn't know any better, and we all make mistakes, we're all human, and now we're closer than ever. We have a great relationship, and I just love her, and we have to understand that we all make mistakes, and it's not always about us. It's sometimes we're just simply going through life and going through our own issues and self-discoveries, and that's what she was going through. Well, she got married really young too. She got married. She was 13 or 14, so you can imagine. And when all the things happened and we moved to the US, that's when she realized, like, no, she wanted a different life for herself. And she was only in her early 20s. So I can't even imagine my own daughter going through that. But the whole lesson for me is to just simply forgive, because holding a grudge is really heavy and it's exhausting. So we should always just spread love and kindness for ourselves and for others. I would say always love yourself and forgive yourself. Be graceful. Find out what is your passion and follow that. That is your life purpose, because you are enough and you are worthy. I want to say first, I always want to go back to this. Love yourself. Because when you love yourself, everything else will start falling into place. Once you have that and you're graceful with yourself, think about what is your passion and try to follow it, no matter how scary. And it might be scary, and I know the world is a scary place sometimes, but don't let anybody's negativities, negative comments, criticism, judgments, don't let that affect you. Actually use it to strengthen you to keep moving forward towards your dream, because you are powerful and you are enough. Ooh. Wow. I love it. Oh my gosh.
I did end up going a little bit more loud.
Yeah.
Because of the camera.
So pretty.
Yay.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like a new person. Welcome to Beyond Wellness and Beauty. This is where I do my frequency treatments. We have my PEMF mat and my AO scanner and the hub treatment. I also offer a radio frequency foot detox, which is very helpful for your lymphatic system and to help you detox and to fight inflammation in the body. And this is my treatment room. This is where all the magic happens. It's where I do my Elaine Brennan Skin Renewal Peel, which is an amazing peel, and where I do my holistic facials and my Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique sessions. I also offer terahertz treatments, which are very helpful in healing the cells. Welcome to Beyond Wellness and Beauty, and I keep forgetting the name of my place. Welcome to Beyond Well. No, wait. Okay. People heal from the inside.
Made you do it over, and you're like, no. To where?